Don't scroll. Listen to this. I know you weren't planning to stop here, but something in your spirit told you to pause. This message is for you. Your heart needs this right now, more than you realize. Before the noise of the day takes over, before the weight of responsibility settles in, before yesterday tries to follow you into today, God wants your attention. You didn't wake up by accident this morning. You didn't find this prayer randomly. There is a reason your soul feels restless, and a reason your spirit is searching for peace. This is that moment. This is your sign to breathe and listen. Lord, before my day begins, I come to you just as I am, not pretending, not performing, not hiding what I feel. I ask you, purify my attitude. Cleanse my heart from the emotions I don't know how to explain. Remove the heaviness that settled into my spirit overnight. Wash away the frustration, the quiet disappointment, the questions I've been carrying alone. Because today, I don't want to react from pain. I want to move from purpose. If you're listening to this right now, this message is speaking directly to you. You've been strong for too long. You've been holding it together when no one noticed you were breaking inside. And God sees that. He sees what you never say out loud. Some mornings you wake up already tired. Not physically, emotionally. Your mind starts racing before your feet even touch the floor. But hear this. God is meeting you in this moment to reset your spirit before the world pulls at you. Lord, purify my thoughts. If bitterness is hiding in my tone, remove it. If impatience is shaping my reactions, soften it. If fear is influencing my decisions, replace it with faith. I don't want yesterday's wounds controlling today's choices. Listen carefully. If you've been seeing repeating numbers lately, 1111, 222, 333, this is not coincidence. This is confirmation. The universe has been trying to get your attention. Angels have been nudging your spirit, whispering that something is shifting. You are in a season of awakening. That confusion you felt? It was part of the process. That emotional discomfort? It was growth. That delay you didn't understand? It was protection. God has been preparing you quietly, behind the scenes, even when it felt like nothing was happening. Lord, this morning, I give you my attitude before it gives me trouble. I give you my mood before it ruins my peace. I give you my heart before it hardens. Shape me before the day shapes me. If your emotions have been unusually intense lately, there's a reason. Your spirit knows something your mind hasn't fully caught up to yet. You're standing at the edge of change. And change always comes with discomfort before clarity. This message didn't find you for entertainment. It found you for alignment. There is someone listening right now who has been questioning their path, wondering if they missed their moment, wondering if they waited too long, wondering if love, purpose, or peace will ever feel real again. Hear this slowly. Nothing has been wasted. Not your tears, not your patience, not the nights you cried quietly. God has been using every delay to refine you. Lord, if my heart has been guarded, gently open it. If I've been defensive, remind me why I started believing in the first place. If disappointment has changed the way I love, restore my softness without taking away my wisdom. And listen, this part is important. The person you've been thinking about lately, the one who comes to mind randomly, this is not by accident. The universe has been rearranging connections. Timelines are shifting. What felt like distance was actually divine timing working in your favor. Your soulmate energy is aligning with your healed version. That's why things had to fall apart first. That's why you had to outgrow old versions of yourself. God is not bringing someone into your life to heal your wounds. He's preparing you to meet them whole. Lord, purify my expectations. Remove what no longer fits where you're taking me. Teach me to recognize peace when it arrives, not chaos disguised as excitement. If you've been feeling alone, hear this: you are not abandoned. You are being protected. Angels are surrounding you right now, guarding your steps, redirecting your energy, blocking what you can't see yet. This morning matters more than you think. The way you begin today will affect doors that open later. Your attitude is a key. Your mindset is a signal. That's why this prayer reached you before anything else. Lord, align me with what is meant for me today. Let me speak gently. Let me respond wisely. Let me move intentionally. I don't want to rush ahead of you. I want to walk with you. If your heart feels emotional right now, don't fight it. That's release happening. That's clarity forming. That's your spirit responding to truth. Because something is already shifting. And what happens next depends on how you step into this day. Because something is already shifting. And what happens next depends on how you step into this day. Right now, the universe is watching how you respond. Not to the big things, but to the small moments. The pause before you speak. The breath before you react. The choice to stay calm when you could easily fall back into old patterns. Lord, this morning, slow me down. Teach me not to rush into emotions that no longer serve me. Help me recognize when peace is present, even if everything isn't perfect yet. Because I don't need control today, I need alignment. If you're listening closely, your spirit already knows. Something you've been praying for is closer than it's ever been. Not arriving loudly, not forcing its way in, but unfolding quietly, gently, divinely. This is why your heart has felt sensitive lately. Why certain conversations don't hit the same anymore. Why you're craving depth instead of distraction. You're outgrowing surface-level energy. And yes, this message is still for you. Don't scroll away now. There's more your heart needs to hear. Lord, purify my intentions. If I've been doing the right things for the wrong reasons, correct me. If I've been settling for less because I was tired of waiting, strengthen me. I don't want what's easy. I want what's meant. You may not realize this yet, but a chapter is closing. Not because you failed, but because you learned what you needed to learn. Some doors won't open again, and that's protection. Some people won't return, and that's mercy. Some versions of you won't survive this season, and that's growth. If you've been seeing signs everywhere, songs, numbers, repeated words, that's not coincidence. That's confirmation layered on top of confirmation. The universe has been repeating itself because you're finally ready to listen. Lord, help me trust what I can't fully see yet. Help me release the need for constant reassurance. Remind me that faith works best when I walk forward without all the answers. There is someone listening who has been questioning their worth lately, comparing their timeline to others, wondering why things seem easier for everyone else. Hear this clearly. You are not late. You are not behind. You are exactly where alignment begins. Your journey had to be different because your calling is different. Lord, remove envy from my heart. Replace it with confidence. Teach me to celebrate others without feeling forgotten. What you have for me will not miss me. And now, let's talk about love. Because this is where your spirit has been lingering. The love you're preparing for isn't shallow. It isn't rushed. It isn't chaotic. It's the kind of love that feels like safety. The kind that feels calm, not confusing. That's why past connections fell apart. They couldn't meet you where you were going. They were tied to who you used to be. Lord, heal the parts of me that learn love through pain. Teach me how to receive without suspicion. Let me recognize consistency as attraction, not boredom. If you've been dreaming vividly, waking up emotional, or thinking about someone out of nowhere, pay attention. Your subconscious is processing alignment. Your soul is syncing with what's approaching. Angels are active around you right now. Not loudly, but strategically. Removing distractions, blocking misaligned opportunities, protecting you from rushing into something that would delay what's meant. Lord, purify my discernment. Let me feel peace before excitement. Let me sense truth beneath words. Help me choose what feels right, not just what feels familiar. This morning is more powerful than it seems. The energy you carry today will ripple forward. Your words will carry weight. Your presence will shift rooms. That's why this prayer matters. If you've been feeling called to change habits, routines, or environments, listen. That nudge is guidance. That discomfort is direction. That inner voice is not anxiety. It's wisdom waking up. Lord, guide my steps even when I don't understand the route. Closed doors I'm tempted to force open. Open doors I'm afraid to walk through. Someone listening right now is standing between two versions of themselves. The old one that survived, and the new one that's ready to live. This prayer is the bridge. Your past doesn't get to define today. Your mistakes don't get to speak louder than grace. Your fear doesn't get the final word. Lord, cleanse me from self-doubt, from overthinking, from the need to explain myself to people who don't seek to understand me. And listen closely. Before this day ends, you will notice something different. A conversation, a realization, a sense of relief. It will be subtle, but significant. That's how divine movement works. Stay present today. Stay open. Stay soft without losing your strength. Because what's unfolding now is setting the stage for what comes next. And this is where most people miss it. Because divine shifts don't always arrive with noise. Sometimes they arrive as a quiet knowing. A calm that doesn't make sense yet. A feeling that something has changed, even though nothing looks different on the outside. Don't ignore that feeling. That's alignment settling in. Lord, help me recognize when you're working silently. When miracles are forming beneath the surface. When growth is happening in places no one applauds. If you're still here, still listening, this confirms it again. This message is meant for you. Not everyone has the patience to sit with truth this deep. But you stayed. Because your spirit was hungry for something real. There's a release happening right now. You may feel it in your chest, in your breath, in the way your thoughts are slowing down. That's not exhaustion. That's peace reclaiming its place. Lord, remove the pressure I put on myself to have everything figured out. Free me from timelines that were never yours. Teach me to trust the unfolding. Some of you have been carrying guilt that was never yours to carry. Blaming yourself for things that required two hearts, not one. Taking responsibility for outcomes you couldn't control. Hear this gently. You did the best you could with what you knew at the time. And God is not holding your past against you. If you've been replaying conversations in your head, if you've been wondering, what if I had said this differently? Let it go. Clarity doesn't live in the past. It waits in the present. Lord, purify my memory. Let me remember lessons without reliving pain. Let wisdom remain, but let shame dissolve. There's a reason you've been craving solitude lately. It's not isolation. It's integration. Your soul has been reorganizing itself. Outgrowing old desires. Releasing outdated dreams. Making space for something more aligned. And yes, love is still part of this, but not the kind that drains you. not the kind that keeps you guessing. The kind that feels like home. You're not meant to chase love anymore. You're meant to attract it through alignment. Lord, align my energy with what I desire. Let me become what I'm asking for. Let my healing speak louder than my longing. If you've been feeling disconnected from certain people, trust it. Your vibration is changing. And not everyone can come with you. This doesn't mean you're better than them. It means you're different now. There are conversations you won't need to explain anymore. There are boundaries you won't need to defend. Your peace will speak for itself. Lord, strengthen my boundaries without hardening my heart. Teach me to say no without guilt. Teach me to rest without feeling lazy. Something important is happening in your spiritual eyesight. You're starting to see through things that once confused you. Patterns are revealing themselves. Truth is rising without force. That's discernment activating. If you've been second-guessing yourself less lately, that's growth. If you've been choosing silence instead of arguments, that's wisdom. If you've been letting people show you who they are without trying to change them, that's freedom. Lord, keep me grounded as you elevate me. Let humility walk with confidence. Let grace guide my words. This prayer is not just preparing your morning. It's recalibrating your direction. Somewhere ahead of you, not far, there's a moment waiting. A meeting. A message. An opportunity. It will feel familiar, like déjà vu. Like something you once imagined quietly. And when it happens, you'll remember this moment. That's why this prayer reached you first. Lord, help me stay present today. Not lost in the past. Not anxious about the future. But fully aware of what you're doing now. If anxiety tries to creep in later, remember this feeling. This calm. This clarity. This sense of being held. Because you are, angels are still working on your behalf. Even in the mundane moments. Even in traffic. Even in silence. Nothing today is random. And there's one more thing your heart needs to know. The version of you that survives on fear is being replaced by the version of you that moves in trust. That transition can feel uncomfortable, but it's necessary. Lord, give me courage to live as who I'm becoming, not who I had to be to survive. As this day unfolds, stay aware, stay open, stay gentle with yourself, because the next sign, the next confirmation, the next shift is closer than you think. And this is where your awareness matters most, because when alignment approaches, distractions try harder. Old thoughts resurface. Old fears whisper. Old habits try to pull you back into versions of yourself you've already outgrown. Don't fall for it. Lord, help me recognize resistance when it appears. Not as a sign to stop, but as confirmation that I'm moving forward. Give me clarity when confusion tries to return. If you felt tempted lately to go back to what's familiar, even if it hurts you, pause. That pull isn't intuition. It's comfort trying to disguise itself as safety. And you weren't created to stay comfortable. You were created to grow. This message is still speaking to you. Yes, you, the one who keeps questioning whether they're strong enough for what's ahead. You are, and you always have been. You didn't survive everything you survived just to settle now. Lord, remind me of how far I've come, of battles I thought would break me but didn't, of prayers I once cried over that are now lessons I carry. There's a quiet confidence forming inside you, not loud, not aggressive, but steady, the kind that doesn't need validation, the kind that knows when to walk away without explanation. That's emotional maturity. That's spiritual grounding. If you've noticed yourself responding differently lately, calmer, slower, less reactive, That's not you losing passion. That's you gaining control. Lord, purify my reactions. Let me choose peace even when chaos invites me in. Let me be still without feeling powerless. Something important is being rewritten in your life right now. Not externally, internally. Your self-talk. Your standards. Your expectations. You're no longer asking, "Why me?" You're starting to ask, "What is this teaching me?" That shift changes everything. If you've been feeling disconnected from social media, noise, or constant stimulation, honor that. Your soul is craving depth, stillness, truth. Not everyone will understand this version of you, and that's okay. They don't need to. Lord, release me from the need to be understood by everyone. Let me be understood by you. That's enough. There's also a healing happening around forgiveness. Not for them, for you. You're realizing that holding on to resentment keeps you tied to a past you no longer live in. Forgiveness doesn't mean access. It means freedom. Lord, teach me how to forgive without reopening wounds. How to release without reconnecting. How to heal without returning. If your heart feels lighter, but emotional at the same time, that's normal. Healing often feels like grief and relief happening together. You're mourning old versions of yourself, while welcoming new ones. That takes courage. And love. Yes, love is still unfolding. But now, you're no longer begging the universe to send someone. You're becoming selective, discerning, patient. You'd rather be alone than misaligned. That's power. Lord, protect my heart without closing it. Teach me to wait without losing hope. Let me recognize love that comes in peace, not urgency. There's someone out there whose energy already recognizes yours. Even if you haven't met yet. Even if you don't know their name. Alignment works ahead of introductions. That's why timing matters. If you've been feeling like you're in between seasons, that's because you are. The old chapter has ended. The new one hasn't fully revealed itself yet. And the space in between can feel uncomfortable. Lord, give me grace in the waiting. Let me trust you in the in-between moments. Teach me to rest without anxiety. You don't need to force anything today. What's meant for you is already moving toward you. Your job is to stay open, not tense. If today feels slower than usual, that's intentional. If plans shift, that's protection. If conversations don't go how you expected, that's redirection. Nothing today is wasted. Pay attention to what repeats. Words, thoughts, encounters. Those are clues. The universe doesn't shout, it echoes. Lord, sharpen my awareness. Let me notice what I once ignored. Let me trust what I once doubted. There is a version of you emerging that doesn't chase approval, doesn't explain boundaries, doesn't apologize for growth. That version is calm, grounded, rooted, and you're stepping into it slowly, intentionally. If fear tries to return later today, remember this moment. Remember this stillness. Remember that you were guided here for a reason. Because something is being prepared quietly, precisely. And when it reveals itself, you'll understand why everything had to unfold this way. But understanding doesn't always arrive immediately. Sometimes it comes as a feeling before it becomes a thought. A quiet sense of peace that settles in without explanation. A moment where your chest feels lighter, even though nothing external has changed. That's trust forming. Lord, help me trust the process even when I don't see the full picture. Help me rest in the knowing that you are ahead of me, arranging what I can't control. If you've been feeling more emotional lately, not sad, just sensitive, that's awareness expanding. Your heart is opening to truth. And truth can feel intense before it feels freeing. You're not breaking down. You're breaking open. There's a difference. Lord, purify the way I speak to myself. If my inner voice has been harsh, soften it. If I've been measuring my worth by productivity or approval, release me from that cycle. You don't need to prove anything today. You don't need to earn rest. You don't need to justify your growth. Your existence is already enough. If you've been drawn to silence more than conversation, listen to that pull. Silence is where integration happens, where your soul catches up to your healing. Not everyone will understand why you've changed. Some will call it distance. Some will call it coldness. But what it really is clarity. Lord, help me stand firm in who I'm becoming without feeling guilty for who I no longer am. There's also a release happening around expectations. You're learning that not everyone will meet you where you meet them. And that's not rejection. That's information. You're no longer trying to force connection. You're letting resonance do the work. That's maturity. Lord, align me with people who see me, not just need me. Who choose me, not just tolerate me. Who grow with me, not drain me. And love. Yes, love continues to rearrange itself in your life. But now, you're not asking for intensity. You're asking for consistency. You're not asking for attention. You're asking for presence. That shift matters. If you've been thinking about the future differently, with less fear and more curiosity, that's alignment expanding. You're starting to believe that good things can happen without chaos attached. That belief changes what you allow. Lord, remove any attachment to struggle. Teach me that peace doesn't mean stagnation. That joy doesn't have to be earned through pain. You are allowed to have a life that feels calm. You are allowed to wake up without dread. You are allowed to experience love without confusion. That permission matters. If you've been catching yourself smiling for no clear reason, that's your nervous system relaxing. Your body is learning that it's safe again. Healing doesn't always look dramatic. Sometimes it looks like quiet relief. Lord, restore my sense of safety. Let my body trust my spirit. Let my mind rest in truth. There's a moment coming, not far from now, when something will click. A realization, a conversation, a sudden clarity. And when it happens, you won't panic. You won't rush. You'll simply know. That's alignment. If today feels uneventful, don't underestimate it. Uneventful days build stable futures. Not everything meaningful arrives with fireworks. Some things arrive gently and stay. Lord, teach me to honor the slow moments, the quiet wins, the unseen progress. You're becoming someone who doesn't need constant confirmation, who trusts their inner guidance, who recognizes peace as success. That evolution didn't happen overnight. It happened through patience, disappointment, reflection, and courage. And you stayed? That matters. If doubt tries to speak later today, remind yourself. You didn't come this far to turn back now. You didn't heal just to repeat old cycles. Something within you has already decided to move forward. And the universe is responding. Subtle shifts are aligning timelines. Energy is reorganizing. Paths are crossing without you forcing them. All you have to do right now is stay present. Stay honest. Stay open. Because what's approaching your life isn't asking for the old version of you anymore. It's responding to who you are becoming. And this is where everything gently comes together. Not with noise. Not with urgency. But with peace. Take a breath right now. Feel where you are. You made it to this moment, and that alone is proof of grace. Lord, thank you for how far you've carried me. for the strength I didn't know I had, for the lessons that shaped me instead of breaking me. If you're listening to this at the start of your day, know this. Today is not meant to overwhelm you. It's meant to align you. You don't need to rush into anything. You don't need to have every answer. You just need to stay rooted in who you are now, because clarity is already forming. Lord, as this day unfolds, guard my spirit, protect my peace. Let my words carry kindness. Let my actions reflect wisdom. There's a calm settling over you now, even if your mind hasn't fully caught up yet. That's because your soul already knows. You're safe. You're guided. You're supported. The universe doesn't bring you this far just to abandon you. God doesn't awaken your spirit just to leave you confused. This season you're entering is gentler, more intentional, more honest. And yes, love is part of it. Not the kind that drains you, but the kind that meets you where you are. The kind that respects your healing. The kind that grows with you instead of competing with you. Whether that love arrives soon or continues to form quietly behind the scenes, trust this. Nothing meant for you will pass you by. Lord, remove anxiety about timing. Teach me to trust divine order. What's mine will arrive at the right moment, in the right way. If there's one thing you take from this prayer today, let it be this. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are not overlooked. You are aligned. The signs you've been seeing weren't to confuse you. They were to comfort you, to remind you that you're seen, that your prayers are heard, that your path is unfolding exactly as it should. Lord, help me walk into today with a purified attitude, not defensive, not bitter, not fearful, but open, grounded, grateful. Let me choose peace when I'm tempted to worry. Let me choose faith when I'm tempted to doubt. Let me choose love when I'm tempted to close off. As this morning becomes afternoon, and this day continues, stay aware of the subtle blessings, the small moments of relief, the unexpected kindness, the quiet confirmations. Those are reminders that you're not alone. And before you move on with your day, let this settle in your heart. You are exactly where you need to be. Be gentle with yourself today. Trust what's unfolding. Carry this calm with you. Because when your attitude is purified, your path becomes clearer, and your blessings flow more freely. Amen. Folded hands.